We jump in the middle. We jump in the middle. Back around the middle. Back around the middle. Get ready. Look, back around the middle. Back around the middle. Look, he's gonna hit. He's hitting now. 3, 2, 1. Yo, back around the middle now. 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 Drop in the middle. Drop in the middle. Drop in the middle. Now go back and go sides. 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 Pitch your left on my DPS. Southwest side and southeast side are free. Both sides are free. Full pierce to west side.
Southwest wall so weak. Southwest wall weak.
I full fucking pierce the southwest wall. Full pierce the southwest wall. You grab the beetle. You grab the beetle. Silence him now. Silence him now. Silence him now.
Good. East gonna engage. East is gonna engage.
Hide now.
Everybody hide.
Hide now. Full hide. And we go look north. Left north now.
Tank CC East. Tank CC East.
Left north now. Look, drop this in the middle. Look. They're engaging. They missed. East side is free. East side is free. East side is free. Nice kills. Look. Keep rolling.
West side.
Come.
Okay, better mounts are walking in, off-timers control tanks, wait 1 second. Better mounts walk in. Off-timers control tanks are walking north, dismount behind them north, and walk north in. D-stack while you walk, monkeys, D-stack while you walk. They're playing clap NPCs, stop fucking giving them hits. Walk in northwest. Come south. Brawl in south, we're gonna hit this bomb southwest to you, okay? Yo, bomb, you wipe that, come on, nice. Yo, walk in southeast. Yo, east and crown in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Wipe this fucking flank, holy shit, wipe him, finish the skills. Death on crown, gate if you're on crown. Walk southeast and brawl inside, keep walking in and D-stack. Does the yours still have a front, yes or no? Okay, just finish the skills inside. Flank the yours, scored southwest, full dive southwest. Everyone walk southwest into them. Guys, full dive southwest, okay? Control tanks, off-timers, do your thing. Control them along the wall, okay? They're stacking along the wall. Listen, clap, we're gonna look southeast along the wall. Walk in and D-stack, okay? D-stack. They're gonna look with an engage from west right now. Yo, brawl here. Listen, one more engage, southwest and crown, be ready. Walk in, with. Yo, you're gonna look along the wall, southwest and crown, ready. Wait. Okay, bot, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, crown. Just get out, just get out. I have 27 display and like all of the bombs left, like before the fight started, like small in the air. What's happening, bro?
Died. Is everyone standing still for everyone else?
Yeah. Shell on the feast. Guys, it's one of the siege bows. Okay. Come back. Gate from. Come back. Good defenses. Come back. 2, 1, crown. Did I get the answer? Come back. Ready to help. Siege for deep. Good so. Your bombs is literally on you, okay? Yo, help northwest. Okay, guys. Wait, hold, get their defenses out. Roll them. You can do northwest and crown here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Northwest and crown. It's a big fucking crown. Love it.
Go now.
They're gonna look. Now, I'm demoning it. Walk in, southeast crown, 5, 4, 3, 2, big one. Wipe this, so big. Good job, nice piece. Walk into the southeast.
I think they're getting over.
They're holding the shot well. Yo, shadow northwest crown, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Walk south into them. And spread east up. We're not kiting. Spread, guys, spread. Don't panic. Take west side, east side, and up. Brawl, it's your fucking code, okay? Do your job. They're gonna look one on the main shallow. They're gonna look on the sword now for anyone. Watch out. Depth northeast of crown. Yo, guys, spread here. Don't panic. Kick one inside now. We win this fucking brawl, monkeys. We win this brawl. You're gonna look northeast on the stairs. Walk in, on the stairs. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. On the stairs. Wipe this brawler. Good shit. And spread now. We're not kiting, monkeys. Yo, listen. That longbow east up. I need one off-timer to look there. He can't be standing there. East up. That's our spot. They're gonna look shallow. They're gonna look soon. On crown now. Full death me. Don't let me die. Don't let me fucking die. Heal me. Listen, 6 seconds. Do not dive from northwest yet. They're looking shallow. They might look shallow. Much better. That's back east. Invis tower east. Watch out. They're gonna look. Yo, east here. Death west. Hold them on gate now. Don't let them walk back in. Step up. Yo, on the gate. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. On crown right now, drop damage from crown, Take damage. Good, Nick when is that? Wait.
They're already running.
Wait. X-Sector, D-Sector. Pick yourself, walk into himself first a little bit. Pick yourself, walk into the west. They want to face the bomb inside, Death. Yo, Luke's gonna look this up. Hitman is gonna look now. Death on ground. Yo, hold the rest of the top. On ground, 5, 4, 3, 2. On ground right now. Swipe this. Good job. Kill some DPS to kill himself. T-Sec now. Dive to the north. I don't think it was yours. Dive to the north. D-Sec, Archie's gonna look. 9 seconds for me. 9 seconds for my get. Yo guys, stop damage on crown. Any damage on crown right now. Listen, ready for my clapping 4. Walk with him. Yo, wait, we're gonna kill the brawlers. Northeast of crown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Northeast of crown. Good job. Call it that. Finish the kills. Break this gate. Step up. Accept the brawl. Brawl inside. Dude, come to me northeast. Yo, brawl inside. Just cycle the fence inside, guys. Purge that shit. Happy misses. D-Sec. Be ready 4 seconds on crown. Wait. Be ready on crown. Wait. On crown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. On crown right now. It's big. Okay, brawl west. Brawl. Dive in 2 seconds. Deep southwest. Be ready. Dive. Off timers go. You kill him here. Yo, be ready. Southeast of crown. Be ready. Wait. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. On crown right now. Wipe this. Good job. Better wipe. Yo, D-Sec and brawl north of crown now. Brawl guys. Just brawl. They're gonna look now. Def west. They're gonna look now. They're looking west. Def west. 100%. Def it. Yo, on crown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Crown now. Make sure you look.
Wait.
Oh, east of the choke, northeast of the choke.
Carry. Wait, inside. Come. Wait. Inside. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inside. Go stop. Walk stop, guys. Stop.
They're getting flanked. I think it's cold.
Stop. Walk stop.
They're kind of
They're gonna try to look and zone out.
You can maybe focus Harold down. Deep and north.
3, 2, 1. Again. Nice.
Okay, Harold is west side of you, northwest of you.
Deeper west is stacked.
West side is Harold.
Can you kill these Heralds?
They're gonna look on the still gates.
Wait.
South.
Come north. West. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. West.
All out Judy's, play Judy's. They're gonna look. Nice. Finish Steve. Judy east side. Fighting gates.
4, 3, 2, 1. How down. Come, heal me out of
We got it! Like we got it!
Heal me.
But it's all southwest of Terry.
Come, warping. Come, warping. Come, walk. Look northeast. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Walk it, kill him. Nice, run again. Brawl north. Brawl north. Look it out. Left. Brawl now. Brawl and ping side. Brawl.
She's dead.
Good. South. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. South. Kill him all. Brawl. Kill him. Brawl. Kill him. Come. Also again. 5, 4. Actually, south. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. South side. Kill him.
Good shit.
Nice.
Rixel's gonna look west along the wall.
Don't fight. Spread out.
Rixel's up.
Full spread. Hide. Good. Wait.
Yeah, we have the boys on the top, but we have to not come up.
Rixel's gonna look here.
Very
No. Kill him all. Wipe them. Holy shit.
Walk in. Come. North. 5, 4, 3, 1. North. Nice.
Getting expand. You have Lucas.
Good.
Doom coming. Yeah, no side. SBS no side. Notice.
Wait. Hey, 5. Go behind. Go behind.
Keep touches.
Walk in. Fight. Walk in. Full walk in. Walk in. Right. Look at me. Look navigate.
If it's east side. When the east side.
Invis straight, Invis southeast, Invis north of you.
Come.
Slow down. Jesus Christ, man.
Good. Okay, stabilize. Go to the side.
Southwest, semi-safe. Judy southwest stairs.
Police.
There's another flank on the northeast. On the street side. Leo is watching.
Kill him.
Focus middle.
We gotta turn the piece. Turn the piece. Ball
Listen to the calls. Brawl around suicide.
Come. Ball. That's the system. Come. Catch.
They're running. Leasing now, bro. I have a Judy south side. Listen, D-Sec, in a minute's gonna be up. Listen, control the south side here. Control the south side of the fight. If you're northwest, you're inting. Like, if you're northwest, you're inting. Link Fear, come south, man. Come south. D-Sec now. He's gonna look inside. Be ready to soak. He's gonna look on the gate. Now, def it. Now, hard brawl the middle. We have tempo. Cycle defenses in the middle right now and hard brawl the middle. Fucking drop damage from Crown right here. Listen, finish these guys inside. Finish these guys. Yeah, they have better rates engaged. Like 5 seconds. Be ready to soak. Listen, fully D-Sec now. In a minute, full brawl. Finish his kills. They're gonna clump on the exit. Yo, drop damage on the exit. On Crown right here. Drop damage on Crown. They're gonna be cooked there. Drop damage on Crown. I know, that's why you drop damage on Crown, because they're trying to leave. Drop damage on Crown. He's choked. Don't let him walk in for free. You guys see that flank west side? We're gonna dive to flank west side. I want everyone to dive west side right now. I want everyone to gate pot and dive fucking west side. Early potty, and dive west. I'm gonna Judy on Crown. You guys are stacking. You need to potty early and D-stack.
Better size. Go to the side. Get away from the middle. Pop. Heal up. Don't kite. Just stabilize. Come. Look north side. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. North. Kill him. Please kill him. Brawl.
Pots early, guys. Pots early.
Stop kiting. Why are you kiting offense?
D-Stack and start brawling north Crown. Start brawling here on Crown. Start brawling around Crown, guys. Yo, this is big fucking CC on Crown. Walk into them northeast. Play aggressive. Hard CC them here. And start wiping. D-Stack, guys. We can win this. Start brawling east on Crown. I need everyone to be on me. Yo, listen. Come east through here. Brawl around Crown. Nice fucking gala. Can we finish these kills from Crown? Can we use this tempo? Yo, walk east here, guys. Don't kite. Stop kiting. Can we finish these kills around Crown? Around Crown? You guys are doing good. Stop kiting. Big fucking clump on Crown. Can we punish this? From Crown? Good. Now walk east to look. Okay, all good. Cake pot if yourself for me. Let them fight. Come west. Left. Don't die to that. You guys are
coming from northwest.
Heal me. Come west down the hill. You guys are standing on the choke like fucking NPCs for no reason. Guys, stabilize here. D-Sec now, stabilize. Listen, I want you guys to kill inside. I want you guys to drop damage inside. Right now. Don't kite anymore. I'm pings up right here on the road.
They called, got me back in my head, oh. No sleep, I've been up in my bed, oh. Let me know, if you feel the same, if you're playing the game where you
Come south. Come south. Come south, deep. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, deep. Kill the ball. Nice. Go north. East. Carry, look. That's just a bomb. They have everything. Be careful. They have everything. Look now.
No.
Left. Look, Safis. Come, stop. Suffocate. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Suffocate. Nice. Go back. Walk out fully. Time to look again.
Careful,
Look Wait.
They're watching south side.
Wait. Hold in the piece. Come. Walk. Deep piece. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Deep piece. Come, walk through.
I can read your eyes, got me in my
He's along the walls, Nick.
Come in north. All second north. Come rolling. All second north. Come north.
You're gonna look now.
Left. Nice. Roll. All second middle. Separating. Get out. Catch. Come. Where's the plant all around? Okay.
All on the game. They're all just not okay.
Okay, come. Dismount all around. Come again. Come. Dismount all around. Put us. Come. Spend the ball. Good. Stop. Stop.
Please.
Stop. Kill him. Decamp. Yeah,
Decamp.
Everyone dig.
I need some help, West.
Spread them out.
There's a lot of low southwest here, so.
Go to the side.
Never mind, they got killed by bomb.
Decamp.
They might look west.
Keep rolling.
Bomb is stacking. Bomb coming down.
Wait. Come, please. Walk to the beach.
This bomb button.
Decamp. Come, please.
They are level 32 now.
3, 2, 1. Catch. Turn north.
They're not in tag, by the way. They're not in tag.
Walk in north. You see them.
Come to the side.
North. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. North. Kill him.
They're about to have engage up.
A lot of heralds is mounting west, by the way, Rigas.
Nice, ball on the press, biggie pass, come. Ball on the press, we need kill press.
Spread, boys, spread.
Don't save the gate, coming south.
Big come northwest.
Good ball,
Gallus looking on the bridge, by the way.
Come, everyone gig, yes, gig. Please gig, come south. Come, Stop us, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, stop us, kill him all. Please damage, we can nice. Decamp.
They're watching northeast, bridge. Watching northeast bridge.
Decamp. No, please, come. No, please, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, no, please, kill him. Nice. Decamp.
Red on the side, boys, on the side.
Go to the side. Heal on the side.
They've got a lot of low on the south, they're struggling to stay
The
west
bomb
and south.
south side. The ellipse is south side.
Walk in. Just fully walk into them, okay? Fully walk in. Come. Walk in. Come in. Walk in. Come, walk in. Keep walking. Good. Come. Carry looking. Carry. Just gig early. Come through. Walk in. Just gig in. Come. Where is look at me? Come. Walk in, guys. Walk in. Gig through them. Baller. Where look at me? Look at me north. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. North. Stop. Kill him. Decamp. Baller. My tanks can you look first. Papa Hutti. Carry. Papa Hutti. Come. West. Walk. West. Come. Mount. Jag ska full ball. Go full off timer. Come. Brawl. Mount into them. Go run into them. Mount into them. Nice. Mount into them. Come. Come behind him.
What the
Good,
fuck?
nice. Yes, baller. Kill his fucking dogs. Come. Somewhere. Balling. Keep balling. Ball ping. Yes, go full off timer. Come. You see.
Mounting.
Okay, ready to fit shallow. Wait. Ready each shallow, okay? Each shallow on the gate. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Each shallow on the gate. It's fine. Go back. Go back. Head the choke. Come. Everyone gig. Come. Everyone gig. Come. Hold it. Decamp. Brawl. We're gonna turn on gate. Come. Wait. Come. Decamp. Look on gate. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. No gate. Kill him all. Please. Kill him all. Decamp. Brawl. Decamp. Yes, gig. Everyone gig. Decamp. Brawl. Don't kite. Good bomb. Decamp. Left. We can look to freeze. Come. Wait, no freeze. Come. No freeze. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. No freeze to the gate. Kill him.
Oh, I know they're gold. Good shit, bro. Good fucking. He's along the wall. Hold him. Keep holding him northeast to ground. Northeast, 5, gig, 4, 3, headbutt, 2, 1. I'm dead. Wipe them. And then full brawl them east along the wall. Someone stream. Full brawl them east along the wall. How do I get
They all died.
full brawl them along the wall? Stream.
It's doable.
Keep rolling. Listen, dive them hard southeast. Kill that ranged engage, guys. Focus on killing that ranged engage deep southeast. Full it, okay? You guys need to play together. If you're not gonna play together, you're gonna die. Listen, where are we? Let's regroup. Listen, we're east up, I think. We're east up the hill. If anyone is leaving the fight right now, you're gonna kick from the guild. We're east up the hill, guys. Can we get pressure northeast up the hill on the clap group, guys? On the clap kite group. That's who we're diving right now. You guys are not
They have
playing
a
together.
They have on the trap.
Drop damage inside. Party one, drop damage. Full
You're by the wall now.
East along the wall. Deep east along the wall. Good job, Realmbreaker. Deep east along the wall. Wipe them, guys. Wipe them east along the wall, guys. Me too. Start desecting. They're gonna look the headshot here. On the gate, guys. You're sleeping. Left on the gate. Walk west. Desec. Gig again. Dive them west. Yo, south of the tower. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. South of the tower. Guys, and brawl them. If you're low, get off the mage. The mage is south side. Engage. Yo, listen.
They're watching west. Kill
these guys west side. They just engaged. Yo, listen. Kill these guys west of town. They're gonna look here. Now. Left west. Yo, kill the guys west. Dive to southwest. Dive to west side, guys. Dive to west side. Brawlers. Look west side. You're rolling good. Good. Keep rolling west side. And finish these kills west side.
Stop. Pull up. Come.
We're gonna count, okay? Gig. Northeast, deep. 3, 2, 1. Deep northeast. Get that. Too many defenses. Come back.
Come, walk with me, Southeast, come, walk with me, Southeast, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, Southeast, kill him, and Decamp, brawl him, go, brawl it, Southeast, yes, brawl Southeast,
Yo, that means I have zero guards. Okay, you're not G the gate. On the gate. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The fuck is 5 seconds? Come back. Come back. Yeah, well. Mid is gonna look.
Look it out.
Left. Good. Listen, ready for their bombs, okay? Ready for their interest bomb. They should be going now. They're interest first from here. Keep bashing from here. Cycle guard from here. Yo, guys, on me. You ready? On me. South side on me. 3, 2, 1. South side on me. Come back after. I think you'll see it.
I did.
Yo, shadow pull. Yo, that's the name of the That was the purpose. That's the name. You're gonna hit east over soul. That's the death.
They wasted.
Wait. Yo, east over soul. 3, 2, 1. East over soul is now. Take damage. Come back. This side. Come back. And Judy side. Yo, southeast, same spot. Southeast, little deeper. 3, 2, 1. It's big. Nice. That's him. That's him. Come back, please. Come back. Please, teach me. Every time come back.
Hey, he's not. Come on.
Listen. Help easy crown.
No.
North Listen, we'll have the bomb here. Yo, little deep cookies, deep cookies. 3, 2, 1. They're fucking up. It's massive. Good job. Listen, so close. You're gonna look.
They missed, the full miss.
Made it, itch? Listen, okay, listen, take the south side. Take the south side. Step up. Side, fake my first. Fake. 3, fake. 2, 1. Fake right now. DPS go east around. You're in it very deep north. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Invis
Very
north,
deep.
Invis north.
Silence the west and come back. Good, so I can get
All gate.
Deep northwest. 3, 2, 1. Northwest. Wow. Nice. They're gonna hit. Midwest is inside. Left. Don't do focus. Listen, second cooldown. Be careful. Listen. Out north, these guys. Both east. Yeah, it's fine. Give him a little heart attack. Guys, only boost the slowest side. It's so useless to boost the furthest one. What is Theo doing? What's Theo doing?
They're far northeast.
Okay, just roll the people inside for now. Listen, come west. Get out of triple X now. I want to mount up and go for the Euro again, okay? Yo, watch out. There's gonna be a group south. Come, if you're a Brawl, you can mount up. You're gonna dive northwest now. Just dive it. Just fucking dive it. Dive to your west side. West side along the wall. It's the west side along the wall. Listen, dive from west side along the wall. Dive them northwest. Guys, you need to dive right now. How is Cloyson only here?
They're like
Left. How is Cloyson only here?
setting up northeast here.
Yo, watch out, northeast. Walk northeast. Deep east. 5, 4, headbutt. 3, 2, headbutt. 1. East now. Come back. They're gonna hit with another engage. From east. Come back to hideout. Listen, legal from hideout. I want everyone to legal from hideout. Dive northeast and hold. Try to dive northeast and hold, guys. Hold them. And roll deep east. Roll deep east. So kick again. You're ready to round, guys. Don't engage. Steady. Walk in. East of the hill in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It is massive. Can we drop damage on this? Oh, we still kill. Listen, D-stack. They're gonna counter here. Just D-stack, fully D-stack. They're looking with an engage. With the Valor OP. Listen, this D-stack for now, D-stack. Survive, okay? Just survive. Listen, we're gonna headbutt Anki southwest. Yumi southwest. Try to Yumi. Okay, get up. Okay, finish the kills inside. Definitely. Listen, keep walking into the active stacks. Finish the kills. They're just full spreading, guys. Regroup from me south side. Listen, walk in north now. Be ready, shadow crowd.
They're watching.
4, 3, 2, 1. Northwest of crown. Kill that and spread again.
They're coming from northwest. The order is coming from northwest.
Spread it into the west. Walk into the west. Listen, can we push
Invis from north.
Yo, we're gonna try and push it in there, okay? Listen, we can do this. Mount up behind. If you're inside of them, stay slow. Mount up behind right now.
They are going back to the short northeast. They are going back to the wall northeast.
We can hold them. Now, left. Yo, push the fucking choke. Push the choke. Southeast, deep of the choke. Any off time to fall. Walk in.
Northwest is Royd.
Roll them up. You guys need to be in the choke here. If we brawl them here, they die. You guys need to be in the choke. Give me low.
They're really stuck.
Get full boocher in. Listen, be ready southeast of crowd. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Wipe this. This is massive.
They're watching out.
Like, you guys are... Okay, I need Exalted on the gate. Def. Exalted on the gate and fucking push, guys. Heal me. Push the choke. Give me Locust right now. And boot kick through. Hold them north from the gate. Kick. North from the gate in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. North from the gate again. Wipe them. And for all the guys inside. Ready to soak shadow. Attila's gonna nuke. That's from now.
Spam north.
Listen, start breaking the southwest gate. Everyone walk in and break the southwest gate. Good. Wait, it's like Guardians from the west corner of the gate. Okay? Attila's gonna look.
We give on that hard.
Attila dead, west side. Yo, hold west side. Yo, Brawl DPS, go west side. It's a bombs, go west side. Mazer bash. Mazer full bash. They're gonna look from maybe, I think they're staying. Yo, full bash. Yo, party 4, go west as well. That's suicide. Yo, west side, you can hold him in. Yeah, I'm holding him in here. Yo, some people say suicide. Don't let them leave suicide, okay? Listen, Brawl DPS, some people go suicide. Party 1, stay with me always, okay? Yo, crowd, shadow 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Crown right now. Yo, everyone else.
Data sync is north.
North along the wall. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. North along the wall right now. And heal me.
They're coming back.
Southeast.
Southeast.
Second cooldown, but ready southeast, ready to soak southeast. Yo, party one, when we're up, party one.
They're looking.
Yo, party one, walk in.
Holding southeast.
Walk in. Yo, ready, party one, on me, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Party one on me right now. Everyone else, ready east, everyone else, step in, see them. Everyone else, east along the wall.
Still holding east side.
4, 3, 2, 1. Everyone else in front again. D-sec, they're gonna counter. D-sec now on me, and walk northwest. D-sec now on me, and walk northwest into them. Yo, D-sec now, walk into me northwest. Yo, hold them melee bomb. Party one on me, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Party one on me right now, D-sec off.
I'm just engaging.
Walk me north. Everyone else, ready on my pool. Yo, walk
They're
north,
diving south.
Walk north to the hideout, guys. Yo, everyone else on crown. East side, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Everyone else on crown, wipe that bomb. Good job. D-sec, party one. Let me know one up. Stabilize. Jenny, what are you up? Yo, I need a royal armor, okay? Def me. I don't know how to get block. Yo, hold him east. Party one east. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Strip next south.
Yo, everyone else, southwest. 5, help me. 4, 3, 2, 1. Everyone else to me right now. Wipe this. Hold them on ground. Stop him here. Yo, party one. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Party one. Shadow callers are fucking shit. Both parties. You guys need to look at.
Pump southeast.
Listen. Yes. Walk into southeast. Listen, break southeast. Walk into the southeast. Focus on surviving. Listen, it's southeast of them, guys. Keep walking. Party one, get in. Gate one, get in. Yo, listen, Grim is gonna go first. Yo, listen, party one, be ready. East the crown. Party one, northeast along the wall. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Northeast along the wall. Party one. Listen, everyone else. Ready to soak inside. Listen, everyone else. Wait. Everyone else. Northeast along the wall. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Northeast along the wall right now. D-sec off. Hold them. It's okay. Just fully D-sec. Don't die. D-sec. Yes. Thanks. Look on Attila. Yo, everyone else, be ready. Yo, death. Everyone else on crown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Everybody else on crown. Stop them. Yo, it's okay. Look the head till Enki. Listen, second cooldown. Good. Second cooldown. Thanks. Look on Attila. Thanks. Create a front line for Attila. Party one on crown. Wait. Party one on crown in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Party one on crown right now. Party one, kill Enki. Everybody else. Yo, party one inside. Wait. Party one inside on crown in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Crown right now. Listen, ready to soak south. Thanks. Keep looking south. Def me. They're trying to headshot me. Just def me, guys. Good. Listen, D-sec. It's going fine. Just kill Enki. We can't. Thanks. Just keep looking south. We're not dying. Just kill Enki here. Keep walking northwest. Ready to soak. Def Enki. Here, so let's hit together. Okay? Do you have cooldown? Yo, on Enki. Everyone on Enki. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop damage. Stop damage. Let's get cool. Yo, ready to soak.
East Attila walking.
Left south east. Wait. Ready. Attila's gonna look deep.
Check.
I'm just gonna gate turn Illa, whatever. Gate turn Attila. Okay, I didn't double.
Check your OC.
Get out.